Home Team Heroes, presented by Sobeys, Canada's family grocery store.
I view April 6th, 2018 as a crossroads. There's a point in my life where I was faced with a decision. I wanted to respond in a positive way, and I wanted to honor and remember those 16. We're all faced with our own crossroads, and how we respond to those crossroads ultimately decides who we are as people.
The RCMP have confirmed a bus carrying the Humboldt Broncos was involved in a serious crash with a semi-truck. The team was traveling to Nipawin in northeastern Saskatchewan when tragedy struck.
He told him that he'd been in a bus accident. He acted like he knew what was going on, but it wasn't until 4 days later that he went for a sleep. And then when he woke up from the sleep, he was asking again, where am I? Like, is this a hospital? Why am I in the hospital? Did I get hurt in the game? Did I get checked from behind? Did I turn my back? Was it my fault?
I was trying to wrap my head around why was I here and why was others not here. I didn't even ask about my injuries either. I still didn't know about my injuries. I was just trying to remember the people that were here. I was trying to think like how lucky I am and grateful I am to even be here right now.
There is some unknowns about the future, and we definitely are concerned. He has a very severe head injury. And again, it's one of those things that people don't see and think that everything is good with him.
The thing that I suffer with my brain injury is I have a slowed ability for reading. And also I need to have like 10 hours of sleep to really function. Other than that, like I'm unable to play sports, can't do any contact, still not cleared for that. I honestly try to view it as a positive, to be honest. It could be a lot worse.
While Kaleb worked to recover from the injuries he sustained in the crash, he focused on his future. Hockey was an uncertain part of that outlook, but the divine intervention of his Humboldt mentor, Mark Cross, helped to pave Kaleb's path forward.
Mark Cross had just graduated from York 2 years earlier. To us, Mark kind of epitomized what we wanted a York Lion to be, and he was telling us that Kaleb Dahlgren was a York Lion.
When we met Russ, we felt trusting of Russ, and we knew that Russ would look after Kaleb's best interests. And when Russ talked about all the supports that would be there for Kaleb, we were excited for him to finally be living out the dream that he had had for so many years.
It meant the world to Kaleb and to us as parents. Kaleb has truly, all his life has worked for this. And we really thought that it was going to be stripped away from him.
The message that we provided them was, we are officially telling you today, we want you a part of the York Lions. I don't care what years those are. As long as I'm sitting in this chair and I'm head coach, your spot is safe with us.
To still have the opportunity after the tragedy, he could have easily just said, hey, like, we can't take you, like, we can't, it's just not worth it, you won't ever play kind of thing. But the fact that he offered that and said, not even this year, whenever, next year, 5 years, that moment was life-changing, honestly.
Arriving at the York University campus in September of 2018, Kaleb found himself at a crossroads in his playing career, but turned his attention to making an impact in the classroom and in the dressing room.
The most difficult part for me, quite honestly, is, that he hasn't got clearance. And we haven't been able to put him in a game. We've had him in uniform a couple of times. You would never know that he's never played a game if you came and watched, because every day at the rink is the greatest day in his life.
For me, sacrificing something that I love was hard, but there's also so many other things to love in life too. Yeah, it's not easy sitting in the stands and watching your teammates out there, but for me, it was a decision that I needed to make for my health right now and for the future self.
The amazing part about Kaleb is he's been an academic All-Canadian in all 3 years that he's been at York. And to do that, you have to have an 80% average or better as a varsity athlete. As with every other aspect of his life, he has not used these injuries as an excuse. He's looked at it and said, okay, so how can I continue to be successful the way I want to be successful in the current state I'm in?
For me, the goal of being a York Lion was never unachievable. I had lots of people who doubted me and said like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. But if I didn't give it a shot, then I would never know. And I think with life, if we don't take chances and risks, we'll never know. And I didn't want to live with any regrets.
The classroom isn't the only place Kaleb has flourished. Facing an early crossroads, he was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic at the age of 4. He's used his platform to further his community work, especially Dahlgren's Diabetes.
Growing up, I didn't have that person to look up to, that person to ask, or to even just say, hey, like, look, they're thriving in their sport. I can be like them one day. So I wanted to create a mentorship program for type 1 diabetic children. And so I thought of this dream program called Dahlgren's Diabetes, and I told my parents.
It swells my heart. My chest is big anyway, but it's a lot bigger when I think of that. And I knew that if he could get a platform, that he could make a difference in many, many, many children's lives.
At this time, Kaleb would like to add 2 more diabetes to Dahlgren's Diabetes.
His big thing is young children that find out they have diabetes, that they understand it's an obstacle they can overcome, that there's a way to live and achieve the dreams you want and be active in sports and arts and education. So he's been great in that regard.
Kaleb will soon be a university graduate. But first, he officially becomes an author, as he hopes his crossroads can shine a light on which path to take in life for others.
I think that those ways of living your life and making decisions and focusing on the positive rather than the negative, if people can take away 1 or 2 of those examples, I think it will change their life. And maybe that just helps them pick the crossroad that is best for them.
He truly has reignited our positivity. Sure, there's stuff that has gotten us down, but just his small moments where he would say something or just smile, it just brought us back to what's really important.
I think that we are on this earth for a short amount of time and we don't know. And for me, I wanted to make the most of my time and to also honor those 16 that aren't here too. But it's also nice for me to kind of have my own sense of healing in this journey. And I really found that within this book, I was able to heal even more and to close up some wounds that were still open.